Hi, Robert here with Way2CPA on Delagify. Today we're going to be discussing one of my favorite movies about accounting, The Big Lebowski. Now you might be saying to yourself, I don't remember a ton of accounting in The Big Lebowski, and I have to say to that you are absolutely correct. There's not very much. But there's one thing in there that always really bothered me, so I want to take this opportunity to talk about the flaw in The Big Lebowski. Now, there are some accounting-related spoilers ahead. I'm paraphrasing the plot because there is so much that happens in this movie. I'm just going to focus on the accounting bit. Here's what we care about.
You're a Lebowski, I'm a Lebowski. That's terrific.
But I am very busy, as I imagine you are.
Wait, let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, you know? That or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino if you're not into the whole brevity thing.
The Big Lebowski, not to be confused with the dude, gets married to a wealthy woman. She takes care of him and puts money into a trust.
What are you talking about? He's fucking loaded.
No, the wealth was all Mother's.
Oh, he runs stuff.
But we did let him run one of the companies briefly, but he didn't do very well at it.
Oh, he's,
No, he helps administer the charities now, and I give him a reasonable allowance. He has no money of his own.
He marries a gold digger named Bunny. She spends his money all over town and gets into some serious debt. One day she disappears and people demand $1 million in ransom. The Big Lebowski takes money from the trust, but instead of using it for Bunny's ransom, he embezzles it to use it for his own purposes. Now I'm leaving out a ton of details from this movie, but I somehow don't think the other characters would care.
We don't care.
Alright, since seeing this movie, the inaccurate accounting has really bothered me because it's such a good movie, except for the accounting flaws. So there are 4 things that are going on that have driven me crazy since first seeing it because they are wildly inaccurate. My whole purpose of this video is to share with everybody what's been driving me crazy about this movie. The first one is this appears to be a charitable remainder trust.
Fortunately, I'm adhering to a pretty strict drug regimen to keep my mind, limber, and I'm very close to your father's money.
I keep telling you it's the foundation's money. Father doesn't have any.
This is important for several reasons, but when the Big Lebowski's wife passed away, she put her money into this trust to accomplish 2 things. First, the Big Lebowski gets his support for the rest of his life. Then, the rest of the money is benefiting the charities that she's passionate about. This is a really common type of trust, a charitable remainder trust. And basically, the income from the trust goes to your family members, and the balance of the trust goes to a charity. When you set up the trust, it's very, very restrictive on how the family members can use the money. The things that you can use the trust for are extremely limited. It is health, education, maintenance, and support. A ransom, in my opinion, doesn't fall under these categories. I'm no attorney. I'm not the IRS. I don't know exactly what they say, but my thought is ransom would not be covered under this umbrella. So that's problem 1. The money shouldn't have been able to come out of there. Problem number 2, we find out that Maude is a trustee on the trust.
I am one of the 2 trustees of the Lebowski Foundation, the other being my father.
Maude's mother, the Big Lebowski's wife, wanted her to protect the funds and make sure that they didn't get spent frivolously. She would have a say in anything that got distributed. Generally speaking, for an amount of money that big, you would require both trustees to sign it. Now, every trust can be set up differently, but theoretically, if they had the foresight to put Maude on the trust, they also would have had the foresight to say, Maude, here is how you can limit it and restrict it. One of the main purposes of the trust, according to Maude, is to protect the money from the Big Lebowski spending all of it. If that's the case, he should not be a trustee on the trust. He should not be allowed to write checks from the trust. If you're afraid of him wasting all the money, that's silly, that's pointless. It completely defeats the purpose of the trust, and I don't understand why anybody would want to do it. Generally speaking, what you would do instead is name somebody more responsible, like a bank, for example, to be the trustee. They make sure that everybody's following the rules, and you can't make large, frivolous withdrawals from it.
I did not know that.
My third problem is the Big Lebowski doesn't need the kidnapping excuse to get the money out of the trust. We've already established that he can write checks on behalf of the trust. We've also established that Maude doesn't approve of him using the trust to pay the ransom in the first place. So how is he saving any time when he is embezzling from something that he already embezzled? It's like he stole it twice. It doesn't make it any less illegal.
Hasn't that ever occurred to you, man?
The fourth thing, Maude gets the dude to handle the embezzlement so they don't have to get the police involved. This is also completely unnecessary. You don't have to go to a criminal trial to get the money back. In fact, most trust disputes get resolved in a civil court case. She can take him to family court and get that money back. I'm not an attorney, so I don't know the ins and outs of how those things work, but I know from an accounting perspective, you would be looking for what funds got embezzled, and you would just ask the person to replace those funds before going straight to the police. There are a lot of steps in between, and I don't see why the dude is the best solution for this. He's demonstrated that he's not very reliable, but that was her choice anyway.
Give me my $20,000 in cash. My concern is, and I've got to check it with my accountant, but that this might bump me up into a higher tax.
So the little bit of accounting that's in this movie is wildly inaccurate. That being said, I love, love, love this movie. It is one of the best movies of all time. So clever, so witty, except for the accounting. It's a ridiculous scheme that has no basis in reality. So for the movie itself, A+. For the accounting in the movie, I have to give this an F.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. That's what allows me to keep doing them. And as a thank you in advance, here are some clips that remind me of busy season.
Easy! Hit the $4!